G'day, I'm Scott Gibbons. This is just one of the best things you could ever be watching. James Cockburn, who is the CEO of Kimberley Kampers. This is the world launch of your newest model. Tell everybody the name.
So fitting launch for our 30th anniversary, as we've been saying to most of our clients. This is our year 30 that we've been in business, and we're really, really proud to release our Kimberley Kruiswagen.
The Kruiswagen. Kruiswagen. It's stunning.
And that's cruise with a K.
Cruise with a K, of course.
Absolutely.
But it's stunning. You've done so many things that unless you go through it, you won't know, because there's finesse and there's quality and there's innovation that only Kimberley can do, and you've got to see it. But importantly, this is an off-road type of vehicle. It's an all-wheel drive.
Yep. So what we've done is it's been in development for the last 3 years.
3 years.
So we have this is probably the fourth one that we've built. So we have bought some second-hand units. We bought a medium wheelbase. We bought a dual axle. We bought the long wheelbase as well, just to see what you could screw and pull out, push, pull, put them through their paces, and just learning what we can do. But one of the key things that we're really, really proud of what we've done is we haven't gone out into the marketplace and tried to improve what's there. So with our heritage in the 30-year heritage that we've got in off-road and off-grid vans, we've actually taken a lot of the concepts of what we do already, in our hybrid caravan and in our full-size cruiser, and then brought all of those technologies into the actual Mercedes Benz platform.
And you chose Mercedes Benz.
We did. So we did look at a few other brands when we were comparing and trying to work out what we really wanted to do. But at the end of the day, getting that brand relationship going, with us being a premium brand, there was actually no other choice than the Mercedes Sprinter.
So, talking about the Mercedes Sprinter, it's easy to drive. I've driven it. It's easy to drive. You only need a conventional driver's license. You don't need a truck license. Conventional. So if you can drive an automatic car, you can drive this.
Absolutely.
There's a 9-speed transmission, but you can drive it manually if you want, or just leave it on automatic. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But then you've also got, apart from the all-wheel drive, you've got centre diff lock.
Yeah.
That's just fabulous.
It is. So it's definitely like a capable vehicle. Now this isn't your this isn't your Cape York going down the telegraph track sort of vehicle, but definitely what we're trying to do is get customers still going out into the bush, right? We're trying to get them out onto the beaches. So we've had this on Fraser Island, no problem at all.
Driving along the sand.
Into the sand. It's been across camping on the beach. There's nothing, I think, in Australia more romantic than that. And this is definitely capable of doing that. But we also wanted something that you can go across the Gibb River Road. You do the Tanami, the Strzelecki, and this is definitely a vehicle that's capable of doing that.
And you've finessed it again, because with the way you're ordering them, they've got a higher suspension.
So we've tried to keep a suite of factory options, which we bring in from Mercedes, from the factory. So they're all built to our orders, and yes, part of that is we didn't want to be going to any aftermarket four-wheel drive lifts or anything. So we get it with the factory all-wheel drive. We get it with the factory 2-inch lift kit, and then with that four-wheel drive in the new 2-litre bi-turbo engine that's been released by Mercedes. That's married up with a 9-speed. Z-tronic gearbox. Now
that new engine is something like 30-odd% more economical than the engine it replaced, which was pretty good anyway, but this is 30-odd% better.
Yeah. So the specs that have come out of Mercedes and on our testing as well is that, it's like we're working with a lighter engine. It's a cleaner, greener engine, which is a big part of what we're getting involved in nowadays. You're getting 10% more power and torque than the previous engine, which was a V6, but it is that 31% more fuel efficient, so it does hit your back pocket.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to drive, let me tell you. Now, as far as the fit out goes, there's things that you've done to make things more convenient for your customer. So, but before we get on to that, the comfort of driving it, the seats. Yeah. The seats are like driving in your lounge chair. They've got an extra armrest. They're just really, really good. But there's so many features in the front of the vehicle as you're driving along. You've got that MBUX system.
Yep. So what we've done is we've taken a look at the full suite of options that are available from Mercedes, taken a look at the demographic that's going to be purchasing this product typically from us, and we've been around for 30 years. We know our clients very, very well. We know what they do, what they don't do, what they like, what they don't like, and where they're going and where they don't go, right? So for us, it's sort of we've taken a look at those Mercedes options, and we have actually tinkered with that based on feedback from clients on what we do. But it drives beautifully. We've got the adaptive cruise control, which is just phenomenal. That takes a lot of the risk out of driving or dozing off in long distance travel, because it'll basically pull you up before the vehicle in front of you. We've got the active lane assist as standard in what we're building.
Yeah.
So if you start drifting on any of the white line roads, then that'll give you a warning to come back in. And then it's got the standard. We put in the 360-degree camera system.
Oh, that is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal thing. You've got to come and have a look just for that. But then you've also got blind spot assist.
Blind spot assist, as you said, the super comfortable seats. So it's like we've been taking this on a bit of a road tour recently, and a drive from the factory down to Sydney, which is 500-600 kilometres, and you arrive fresh. You're not tired from having driven the whole way. It's super comfortable. You've got, as you say, the 10.5-inch MBUX screen upgrade, which is all touchscreen, multimedia, sat nav, everything in it, and just giving people that that sense of confidence and convenience for those longer trips. Yeah,
big mirrors, reversing camera already built in, all built into the screen. It's just absolutely terrific. But the reason you started building this, I believe, was because of customer demand. They were saying to you, we want a motorhome, but we want a Kimberley motorhome.
Yeah, so a brand as old as ours, we've worked in our strategy that we try and keep people for the lifetime of their camping experience. So we've been making the Kampers, which is the rear fold hard floor camper, since 1993, and we've sold thousands of those. There's thousands of those out in the marketplace, and probably still some of the best that you'll get today.
Yes.
We then introduced the hybrid camper or the caravan in 2006, which is essentially sort of like moving to a pop-top caravan but with hard sides.
Yeah, solid roof, solid sides.
Internal toilet and shower, inside cooking, outside cooking, and we sort of like redefined that whole space way back then. 2011 we moved into the full-size cruisers, which is the full-size caravans, all off-road, and thinking outside the box. And then it's like, for us, it was just natural progression that once our customer base is tired of towing and sort of like, but still wants to get to some of those out of the way places, then this was a natural move for us, I believe.
Yeah, brilliant, just brilliant. So let's come on to the inside story, if you will, because they're going to see the outside, but the inside story is that you've got so much comfort. And one of the big pieces of comfort, when you go to most motorhomes, the biggest piece of real estate that's taken up in them is the bed. Now, we're sitting down on this super, super comfy lounge, both sides. 6 adults can sit here comfortably. You've got this amazing table, and then you've got another table within table, that you call it, table within table. But apart from that, there is a full bed already here.
Yeah. So once again, when we started working on this about 3 years ago, what we didn't do is we didn't go out into the marketplace, take a look at what they do, start benchmarking and see how we could improve what was out there already. We had some key design philosophies that we use in Kimberley that we've introduced into the design and the design philosophy and how and why we put it together. And then what we've done is we've actually taken all of our technologies and all of our experiences and build processes and common parts out of the rest of our range. So all of the seating is out of our caravan, all of the cabinetry is out of our cruisers, the overheads are out of our cruisers, and then definitely, as I said, we've developed some of those key design features that Kimberley's famous for, that we use in our ethos of what we do. So that's no clutter at eye level, big wide open windows all the way around. So we bring the outside in because that's essentially what we're trying to do in nature, and then a big focus on the outside kitchen. So, we want our customers to be living outside, and what we've done is we've gone right, okay, what do we do in the rest of our range? How can we integrate that into this Class B motorhome? And I think we've done a pretty good job.
So you've got inside kitchen and outside kitchen, inside shower and outside shower, and then you've created space including having a real ensuite provision. You've got a real toilet.
Yep.
And you've got a real stand-up shower.
Yep.
But that real toilet is a story unto itself, isn't it?
It is. So we adopted the composting toilet about 6 or 7 years ago, and it's been super popular. Out of everything we do, the toilet is actually one of the most talked about areas of what we do and why we do it. And the composting toilet, up to 80 uses. You don't have to visit Sunny Dumps ever again.
No Sunny Dumps.
No Sunny Dumps at all. So it's the convenience side of it there.
Yeah.
And once you get your head around the quirkiness of how the composting toilet works, they use them in all the tiny homes nowadays, in a lot of the RVs as well. They're awesome. And once again, it's like with the way all of our customers are trying to go green and be eco-friendly.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big step in the right direction.
So the waste goes where?
The waste, essentially it breaks down to a dust. So as long as it's been tilled, once a day or periodically, as per manufacturer recommendations, you use a coconut coir or a peat moss, and it does break down to a dust. So essentially, it's when you're finished, you go empty that dust out. It can be used as compost, and then you move on.
Put it on your own garden.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the rest of the inside story, the kitchen is just great. Now, the cabinetry, I understand, is all alloy.
Yes.
But there's no timber except for the drawer fronts and the cupboard fronts.
Yeah, so once again, from the rest of the range, we've never made any timber construction, used timber in any of the construction of our cabinets, even way back in 2006. So it's not something new for us. It's we've been doing it for a very long time. So we use all alloy cabinetry, we use alloy drawers, we're using the Corian bench tops, and the only timber in our construction is in the timber drawer fronts. So, and in that there, what we've tried to do is we've chosen bamboo, which once again is a sustainable resource.
Yeah, excellent. So the inside is fabulous. The bed that we were talking about, that I said there is actually a bed here, that's just above us here.
It is. So it was one of the key things that we wanted to do, right? Creating as much space as possible for our customers to live and work in, or whatever the case may be. So when we were looking at it, there was a number of options. A lot of the motorhomes out there, you turn your seats or your chairs into beds, or the beds are always permanently set up, which just reduces the amount of space we're working with. So we always said that, listen, it's like that we wanted it aesthetically pleasing. So it had to go up into the roof and look like it was a bulkhead.
Yes.
But you have to leave your bed made up the whole time. So by leaving it made up, essentially it's a lot more convenient for you. Pillows go into the center of the bed, that moves out of the way, and then you've got all of your living space back again, right? And essentially we've got the whole motorhome to live in.
And you just press the button?
It is electric, so it's like we have it we've gone with our hybrid caravan. It's all push button up and down. It takes about 40 seconds or 35 seconds for it to go into the closed position or open up. There's a couple of stirrups that come down and the bed rests on the stirrups, so it's nice and sturdy for overnight sleeping. It is a full-size double bed, so it's about 1400 wide by just under 2 meters in length, and there is a redundant lift mechanism. So if you run out of power with our motor on the side here, you're able to put a manual cog on the side, then just crank it up and down manually, which still gives you the peace of mind that you've got a nice comfy bed at the end of a long day. Yeah,
so when the bed comes down, this is one of the great things, you don't have to climb up on the bed because you've created stairs.
The steps, yeah. So it was one of the, probably out of everything that we did, one of the things that we spent the longest time on, and went back to the drawing board several times on it. The stairs we wanted unobtrusive, so you didn't know that they were there, but they have to be sturdy. We're looking at our demographic that does actually use these, so they had to be sturdy. They had to be nice big steps. So what happens is when you sleep all night horizontally, a lot of the blood comes out of your feet, and when you get up in the morning, standing on little small steps or little bars is really painful. So we had to have nice big steps. They had to be unobtrusive and they had to be super simple to work with and use. And I think we nailed that one on the head.
And it's only 2 steps. It's only 2 steps and you're in bed. It's just amazing. Now, let's go outside, because the outside kitchen is something that everyone is going to want to look at and enjoy. But the thing that you did was made that versatile.
Yep. So once again, fortunately not reinventing the wheel. We've been tweaking this for many, many years in the caravan and the cruiser range. So what we've done is we've taken that whole concept into the motorhome. So it's all been engineer signed off. We've had to make a whole lot of molds and new parts just in that outside kitchen to make it look like it's part of the Mercedes build, right? We didn't want anything that looked like an add-on or a bit of a dog's breakfast. So we went in and we spent a lot of time with the molds to make it look good, but then it's all our standard fare. So it's a nice large stainless steel kitchen on the outside with hot and cold water like we have in the rest of the range, and then there's various configurations depending on what you as a user want to do. So obviously moving to the new 48-volt power systems and taking that envelope further, we have our e-galley with the new electric Weber, which is just fantastic and fabulous for anybody who hasn't used them before. But if you're still into traditional gas as an auxiliary power source, we do put the gas bottles on the back, and then you've got your usual 2-burner cooker and griller, you've got your gas Weber, or you've got your marine barbecues. So a whole range, or alternatively you can plug in a portable induction cooker, which once again, it's like once you start going the E side of what we're all working with nowadays in terms of electric cars and stuff, you're boiling a jug of water in approximately 40 seconds as opposed to 5 minutes.
Because you've got induction cooking in the main kitchen, in the main cabin, you've got induction cooking there. You've also got a huge fridge.
So class leading, we wanted to push the envelope in what we're doing, and one of the key things is everybody wants a large fridge and a large freezer, keep off road, carry more grog, whatever the case may be. So we've actually chosen the Bushman 190 litre fridge and freezer. So it's totally separate. It's 12-volt compressor driven, so super economical for what we're doing. But it's class leading, and it's unobtrusive. It doesn't take as much space up, and I think we've managed to fit it in really smartly into what we're doing.
Now, when you're saying smartly, because the whole van has smart technology, because you can charge your phone just by placing it down, but then you've got the 48-volt system. Explain that, because that's got solar and everything else.
So we've moved, it definitely moved the needle in terms of sort of like power consumption. Power replenishment is the big thing. Electric vehicles, E this, E that, is all the flavour of the month at the moment. But what we've wanted to do is make it really practical and user friendly. So what we've done is we've teamed up with a brand called EcoFlow, where it's the highest power to weight ratio of any power system out there. It's all run at 48 volt, so it's safer, it's lighter, but it's a lot more efficient. So essentially it's like on our power conversions, you're going from 70% efficiency to about 92% efficiency from 48 volt to 240 volt.
Now, when you're saying 240 volt, everybody thinks that when you go camping and you're free camping, you're off-grid, off-road, off-grid, that you can't run your air conditioner.
No, so we're definitely, so like the air conditioner that we run off these on our motorhomes can run off the battery bank. Now you wouldn't be running it for weeks on end, but definitely, so like to get a comfortable night's sleep, we've got the power sources. So they come standard with the 5 kilowatt battery.
That's lithium.
We're 100% lithium.
Wow.
in the whole range of Kimberley. So we have been using lithium since 2011. So been in that sector for a very long time, way before anybody else, and we went to full lithium probably about 6 years ago. We stopped using AGMs altogether.
Wow. So that means that you can go camping, go off-road, off-grid, use your air conditioner, but then you've got solar on the roof already, and then if people want even more solar, they get a whole bunch standard. But then you can upgrade more and more and more if you're going to be off-grid for a longer time.
So that's the huge challenge in what we're doing, hey Scott, is how everybody is becoming more and more and more power hungry. in today's day and age. So what it is like, we've got great big banks of lithium batteries that we can take. Obviously a limit to the weight that you want to be putting inside the units themselves. So the big challenge for us is how do we get the replenishment and how do we get them topped up?
Yeah.
With the motorhome, we've actually got like the DC booster through the power hub. So we upgrade the alternator for charging from the vehicles while you're driving. We've also then got the AC charger. So it's a 3 kilowatt charger that's built on board. So essentially it's like if you had to plug into 240, then as you plug in, so two hours later, you're down from 10% to 100%.
Whoa.
So super
Whoa.
fast. I dare say it's like it's coming along that you'll be able to go to an EV charger and charge our batteries in the near future. So we're busy working with the guys on getting that capability.
Yeah.
So if you're driving past an EV charge station, which they're rolling out throughout Australia at a pretty fast rate, you'll be able to pull in and charge up your camper batteries just as quick as a vehicle.
Wow.
So we've got that side there, and then obviously so like trying to get into the eco side of things, which is the solar. So definitely pushing the envelope in the solar category. Our top of the range units come with about 400 watts of solar on the roof, and we're using bifacial solar panels, so you actually pick up a bit of light from underneath the panel as well as from on the top of it. So you can get up to an extra so like 15 to 20% more power just from refracted light from underneath the panel.
Wow.
And then it's like obviously maximising space, and we're working with a finite amount of real estate on what we're doing. We believe we can fit up to about 1,200 watts of solar on the unit, and then we're working with Merlin solar panels, which are the NASA panels we've been using for a fair few years now, on actually getting built-in panels onto the bonnet of the Mercedes.
Huh. Wow.
So, there's never a dull moment
Power
at
is
Kimberley.
fixed, lighting's done, cooking's done, water's done. It's purified water.
Yep.
So that's all nice. Then the other thing that you've got is the accessibility to the outside and lighting that you've got, because you've got great outside lighting.
Yep.
And then you've got security lighting as well, or work lights if you prefer them to be called that. And then you've got driving lamps on the front. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so definitely sort of like with pushing the envelope in terms of the technology and the power systems that we've got, we took a long hard look at how we set up our lighting. So we didn't want lights for the sake of having lights, but we've definitely sort of like gone and said, all right, okay, what's mood lighting, what's functional lighting, where does it need to be located, how can we dual purpose that use? And as we know, so like we've got the surround lighting underneath in our living area here. I've got light refracting from there, so I never get shadows on my food, you never get shadows on your food. But when the bed drops down, that actually becomes your nighttime lights. And they're easy access for turning on and off. And then we've got reading lights
here
just behind us there, so we can use those for reading here.
When the bed comes down.
And when the bed comes down there, your reading lights there. So, but not just on the inside, we then took a look at the outside, right? So like it's so we've got work lights front and back, or basically sort of like reversing or additional auxiliary lighting, which you can turn on from your phone. So if you're up at the toilets and you're coming back to the van and it's in pitch darkness, you can actually turn on the work lights from about 50-60 meters away from the van and light up the whole area. So if you hear a bang or clutter behind you, you can turn on those lights and it just brightens up the whole area. So giving you that peace of mind once again. And then definitely so like we try not to drive at night. Definitely so like once you start touring around the country, but if you have to, we've teamed up with Hella, which is another German brand, and we've gone for their top of the range driving lights, which is the pencil beam and the spread, and then their latest and greatest, which is phenomenal by the way, is their Black Magic light bars. So it does light up like day, and provides a really comfortable driving experience at night.
Wow, so you've covered it. Daytime, nighttime, on-road, off-road, on-grid, off-grid. You've covered the whole marketplace. You're just fabulous. So for people to find out more, do they just go to the website?
They do. So we've got all our information on the website. We're super lucky as well. We've got a great dealer-wide network. So we do have dealers in most of the states all around Australia. So we've maintained that relationship with our dealers and, trying to keep the people going local, supporting local businesses, but somebody that understands where you are and what you're doing. Or else, and the easiest way to come to us is via the website.
Yeah.
So if you just jump onto kimberleykampers.com.au, you'll find the Kruiswagen on there. You're able to go down and download some specs, download the price list, and a brochure with more information.
kimberleykampers.com.au. Now, the other thing before we go, you're exporting because you're so Aussie. You're so proud of how much Aussie componentry you can put in, but you're exporting to the world.
So we've been working with some really good guys in the USA over the last 3 years. So we're a big exporter of RVs, of Australian-made RVs, right? And that's genuinely made in Australia.
Made here. And then sent to the world.
So we export about $300,000 worth of RVs to the USA on a monthly basis. They call it overlanding or expedition travel over there. And they do love Australian products, right? And when we go over there, they see a big difference in how we do stuff, while we do stuff. And we're, in the off-grid, off-road capability, we've been in the business for a long time. And they can see the quality, and they see that we do things differently. And then the brand carries a huge amount of strength in, we've been around for a long time, and we're known for our innovation, quality, and just being a really good, reliable product.
Yeah, and the other part is that you not only export, but you employ so many people locally, and you do a lot of ingenuity within your own factory.
So super proud of being based in Ballina. So we've actually been in the same factory for 30 years. Over 10 of our staff have probably 15, almost 20 of our staff have been with the business for over 10 years or more.
Wow.
So we're a big employer in our local area, which is regional northern New South Wales, just outside Byron Bay. And we've spent the last sort of probably 18 months, 2 years, de-risking the whole business. So we actually do more in-house than we've ever done before. We're doing all of our metal work in-house. We do all of our composites and fiberglass in-house, our spray painting. We do all of our cabinetry in-house. We do all of the bench tops in-house. We do all of our electrical in-house. We do all of our leather work in-house. We do all of our trimming in-house. So there's actually not much that's outsourced.
Wow. For you to get your Kruiswagen or any of the Kimberley range, just go to kimberleykampers.com.au. That's kimberleykampers.com.au. James Cockburn, Magic Man, thank you.
Really appreciate it, Scott. Thank you very much.